Imagine standing with nowhere left to run. Behind you, an advancing army. Before you, an endless sea. No weapons, no shelter, no escape. This was the moment of life and death for Moses and the people of Israel. But to understand how they arrived at this edge of existence, we must rewind far back, to where the story truly begins. It was a time of terror for the Israelites living in Egypt. What had once been a place of refuge had become a land of oppression. Fear ruled daily life. Pharaoh, threatened by the growing number of Hebrews, issued a brutal command. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be killed. In this climate of dread, a mother named Yishbed made a choice rooted in faith rather than force. She could not fight Pharaoh. She could not hide forever. Instead, she placed her infant son into a carefully woven basket and set it afloat on the waters of the Nile. She released him into uncertainty, trusting that God still watched over his people. The basket was discovered by Pharaoh's daughter. Power met vulnerability, and compassion prevailed. She saw the child and was moved. Against the policies of her own household, she chose to raise him as her own and named him Moses, meaning, drawn out of the water. Thus, a Hebrew child was raised as an Egyptian prince. Moses grew up surrounded by privilege, education, and power, yet his true identity lingered beneath the surface. As he matured, the suffering of his people became impossible to ignore. One day, witnessing an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, anger overtook him. In a moment that would alter his life forever, Moses killed the Egyptian. Fear replaced anger. Moses realized his life was in danger. He fled Egypt and crossed into the land of Midian, leaving behind status, security, and identity. In Midian, Moses became a stranger. At a well, he defended shepherd women from harassment. This simple act of justice led him into a new life. He married Zipporah, the daughter of a Midianite priest, and settled into obscurity. Years passed. Moses became a shepherd. The man once raised in a palace now walked the wilderness, guiding sheep through silence and dust. It was there, in isolation, that God intervened. One day, Moses saw something impossible. A bush was on fire, yet it was not consumed. From the flames, a voice called his name. God declared that he had seen the suffering of his people and had chosen Moses to confront Pharaoh. Moses hesitated. He doubted his ability. He doubted his speech. He doubted himself. But God did not withdraw the call. He promised presence. He promised power. And he sent Aaron to stand beside him. Armed not with weapons but with obedience, Moses returned to Egypt. Standing before Pharaoh, Moses delivered a message that challenged the foundation of empire. Let my people go. Pharaoh refused. His heart hardened, and then the plagues began. The Nile turned to blood. Frogs filled the land. Gnats and flies tormented the people. Livestock died. Painful boils afflicted the nation. Hail destroyed crops. Locusts devoured what remained. Darkness fell so thick it immobilized the land. Still, Pharaoh resisted. Finally, the most devastating plague struck. The firstborn of Egypt died. Grief filled every household. Egypt broke. Pharaoh relented. He ordered the Israelites to leave. They departed in haste, carrying the bones of Joseph, honoring a promise made generations earlier. Yet freedom was not immediate. Pharaoh's pride reignited. He pursued them with chariots and soldiers, determined to reclaim what he believed was his. The Israelites found themselves trapped. The sea stood before them. Pharaoh's army closed in behind them. Panic spread. Doubt rose. Fear spoke louder than faith. In that moment, Moses lifted his staff. The waters parted. A path opened through the sea. Walls of water rose on either side as the Israelites crossed on dry ground. Their hearts raced. Their steps were trembling, but they moved forward. When the last Israelite reached the other side, the waters returned, the sea swallowed Pharaoh's army. Power collapsed, oppression ended. Silence followed. Then, a voice rose in song. Miriam, the sister of Moses, led the women with timbrels and dance. What began in fear ended in praise. The Lord had triumphed. The people were free. Moses' journey was far from over. But this moment became eternal. A testimony that deliverance belongs to God. That when escape seems impossible, faith still has a future.